Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with yet another brew review. And of course you see this shirt, this little black box and this festive glass. So you know what time it is. We are proceeding with the Vandestreek week. But since we've already done a few Vandestreek videos, we are finally gonna start with the Barrel Aged Collabs. Now I do have the 2023 series, and after that we are going to immediately thereafter taste the 2025 series. Those are 12 beers, meaning 12 and the 3 we already had. 15 beers, perfect for 3 weeks. So Vandestreek week, Barrel Aged Collab. I completely forgot which ones these boxes hold because it's been a while since I unboxed it. Check out the unboxing. But what are we gonna start with? Maybe something light. Yes. And light in this context means under 10%. The lightest one is 9.1, but I saw Stone Brewing has a sour, so let's go with that. That's a 9.6. Okay, lovely can. This is very dystopian, alien-like, but I do love the color scheme. And Stone Brewing has a history of dark and like sludgy album cover kind of cans. Okay, so this is a Imperial sour and it is white wine barrel aged, which is immediately right up my alley. This collab with Stone Brewing had to be extraordinary, so we brewed an Imperial sour which we fermented with a Lithuanian farmhouse yeast, once more, right up my alley, and then aged on white wine barrels. The result, a beer of fruity flavors. Ingredients: water, barley malt, wheat flakes, wheat malt, hops, yeast. Sounds pretty cool. 9.6% ABV, 11 EBC and 8 IBUs, so not bitter at all. Of course, for an Imperial sour that is not what we expect, so spot on. Oh, that color. That is downright beautiful. This reminds me of like Spanish dessert wines, muscatel and stuff. A bit caramel colored, like dark golden blonde, a bit of a hay color in there. Lovely yellowish off-white foam. Very creamy, very smooth. Yeah, tiny bubbles, a bit champagne-like. Very aromatic as well. Oh wow, this is extremely aromatic. It was already very aromatic during the pour, but if you put your nose in there, wow. Again, relatively sweet, but that is because this does remind me of the dessert wines, of the muscatel, of the like German Riesling wines. But only by the scent, I presume. It has a lot of wood in there as well. And I feel like these are relatively young barrels because it really smells like pretty fresh oak. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, of course grapes, but that's no surprise. So we have young oak barrels, we have like a very woody, a bit of sandalwood as well in there. That white wine, that grapey Also slightly limey scent, that aroma. And I want to say sweet and sour, but actually it's just woody and sweet. So absolutely lovely, beautiful aroma. I am already a fan, and I am a bit disappointed that I didn't keep this for last, probably. So let's have a taste. Cheers. Oh wow. I see what they did there. So that sweetness, that fruity sweetness, was indeed limited to the aroma. There is no sweetness whatsoever in this beer, except for that woody bi-flavor that comes across as slightly sweet, that young oak, that vanilla touch that oak wood brings to this beer. But this is a relatively flat, and I don't mean flat, I mean it has very tiny bubbles. It's very wine-like, but let's say very low carbonation, as in Lambrusco wines. So very fruity, very low carbonation, but just enough to keep it very pleasant in the mouthfeel. It's a bit creamy, it is a bit thick, but not sugary thick. It is very fruity, nice soft sour. Yeah, sour like a dry white wine, so not acidic whatsoever. I do have some tiny hints of lemon in there. Oh wow, this is an immediate hit. This is gonna score so high in my book. And of course that is why they use that Lithuanian farmhouse yeast, that saison yeast. I think this is easily compared to a Kveik yeast, for example. So another Scandinavian farmhouse yeast, because these yeasts ferment really well. They ferment for a long time, giving you not necessarily very high alcohol contents, but a bit higher than average, but mainly they leave no sugar behind, so all that sweetness swept away. Now I don't want to compare this too much to white wine, because there is enough beer in here to still be beer. I get a lot of lambic, younger, like 1-2-year-old lambic flavors, a bit of hay as well. So this is a perfect combination, and I think this would pair fantastically with a old salty cheese, for example, or with like fish or stew, maybe even herbal meats on a barbecue, and even with game. So not necessarily an all-rounder, but I think this is very easy to pair. And I didn't expect to be this enthusiastic. Now, Vandestreek is one of my favorite breweries, mainly because of their alcohol-free playground, and I'll put a link up here. But even though I love Stone Brewing, they're not necessarily my favorite. They have a certain range of beers that is often experimental, that is often pretty cool. They do really neat things, but not necessarily my thing. But this, my lord, And that aftertaste as well, it's like fruity but very refreshing as well, thirst quenching, soft, very soft, and it has way less sourness and way more of that wood, of that oak, of that vanilla. This is gonna be a fun one to score. Quite honestly, this checks a lot of boxes for me. So I am going to give this an easy 4.5. Yeah. And I think that I can convince any wine drinker, any sommelier into beer with just this one. Unfortunately, this is my only one. But yeah, I would easily buy a crate of these. And it's not boozy, but it does taste a bit strong. But nonetheless, I would spend an evening only drinking this. So, yowza. Okay. I'm gonna spend some more time on this glass because I don't want to just chug it. After all, it's still a 9.6%, so not light either. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching again. If you want to support this channel, visit the Patreon page, subscribe to the mailing list, you'll get tasting notes and all that jazz. If you want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll get notified whenever I upload something. If you want to visit Antwerp, hit me up. We'll have a drink together. And if you liked this video in particular, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another one of these barrel-aged babies. Cheers!